Hey, Brad Rhodes, thanks for joining me on my show today. Today, I want to talk to you about something I think is quite relevant. We are having quite a bit of volatility and uncertainty in the market and in the economy. And if you're like me, if you've got some money kind of exposed in the market and you check your account and you're like, oh my gosh, it's dropping, it is, calls for a little bit of concern. And so just want to talk about some things today that you might not be hearing about. So hopefully you'll find this helpful today. I'm going to try to keep this show somewhat short. I have a tendency of just rambling on and on, but I'll try to keep it right to the point today. So my question is for you, is your financial advisor talking about how to have guarantees inside your retirement accounts? And I realize we've got all type of different advisors. I'm a retirement advisor who really talks about safety, about guarantees, about no matter what happens in the economy, no matter if there's a terrorist attack or the market just drops, I'm kind of your guy to talk about how to have those safeties and how to have those safety nets. There's other people, and quite frankly, friends of mine who are financial advisors, who talk about stocks, who talk about dollar cost averaging, who talk about, the market might go up, the market might go down. And sometimes their philosophy is, well, the market always comes back. Well, if you look at other countries, that's not always the case. We've been somewhat blessed in this country to have the market to keep coming back. But it's kind of my opinion that when you're in your retirement years, or if you're like me, I am 57 years of age as of this recording, I'm getting more and more conservative with where my money is. And so let's kind of dive into this topic. Is your financial advisor talking to you about how to have guarantees inside your retirement accounts? If they're not, well, let me talk to you about some of the major companies and some major publications that they are telling people all across the country, you might want to start taking a second look at where your money is. So the first company I want to talk about, we've all heard of Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley has been around for years and years and years. And I would say for the most part, they talk about stocks and bonds and all that stuff like that. But recently, I've noticed that they are really kind of talking about safety and guarantees and how to make sure your money lasts. There's a good article. Let me click to the next screen here. There's an article here I'm looking at. It's titled "How to Avoid Outliving Your Retirement Savings." And I'm not going to read the whole article, but let me just read a couple of things. This is coming from Morgan Stanley, who is typically talking about more aggressive, putting your money out there in the market. Now what they're saying, it says, if your retirement lasts longer than you expect, will you be ready? Here's how to make your money last. And they talk about some key takeaways. And these are very similar things that I talk about. It says Americans are living longer. More than a third of today's 65-year-olds are expected to live to age 90. A longer than expected lifespan can put considerable strain on even a well-funded retirement plan. It says aligning investment strategy with income needs, taking steps to help reduce taxes, and in certain cases, delaying Social Security payments can help stretch your nest egg. Long-term care insurance and annuities may provide additional financial safeguards. And so I just find it fascinating that an organization who for years and years and years has been talking about put your money in the market, put it in the market. They're now talking about a more conservative approach. And so that was one article from Morgan Stanley. Here's a second one talking about retirement income and sequence of return risk. Sequence of return risk is kind of talking about, especially when you're early in your retirement, if there was a drop in the market and you're taking out income, having a drop early in the market, early in your retirement, can be quite devastating compared to if the drop in the market took place late in your retirement. And it's just, this article is talking about, you really can't time the market. We don't know when we're going to have a downturn or not. I'm going to just read this thing I've highlighted here. It says sequence of return risk is often overlooked as an important risk to a retirement plan. It's among the biggest risks faced by investors. Fortunately, though, there are steps investors can take to mitigate sequence of return risk, including allocating a portion of the portfolio to annuities with lifetime income benefits. So that's Morgan Stanley. Another publication is Kiplinger's. Kiplinger for years and years has always talked about all these stocks and dividend stocks and all this stuff. Well, here of late, they are really talking about protecting your retirement, income for life. And so I think that I just found this interesting that these institutions who for so long have been so aggressively minded, maybe they know something, I don't know, but they're now talking more conservative. TIAA Craft, now they go by TIAA, similar situation. If you go right to their website, I took a little snapshot of their website. It now says on here, money coming in for as long as you live. They're again talking about annuities. And I know some of you, I know because I talked to you and you said, gosh, I have heard bad things about annuities. Well, we're not talking about the annuities from yesteryear. The annuities years ago, basically you would give an insurance company, let's say $100,000 in return for an income stream that you couldn't outlive. Now that might be good, but you've given the insurance company your money. They now have your money. They're turning that into an income stream for you. That has changed. That has really changed. And we're going to get into that here in a second. We'll talk about kind of what I'm doing, what my wife and I are doing. So what are retirees doing across the country? You might be wondering, is my financial advisor, is my advisor telling me the whole story? Well, I want to read something to you. And again, I'm going to talk about the dirty word annuity again here, but I want to share with you. You're probably not hearing this from your advisor. You're certainly not hearing it from the banks, but I'm going to talk to you about 2023 and 2024. In 2023, make sure I say this right, $385 billion was put into annuities. Of that 385 billion, 286 billion dollars was put in fixed annuities. Now, in another video, it's just kind of hit me. I need to make another video. There are really three main types of annuities. There are variable annuities. Now, I don't do variable. Variable annuities are in the market, subject to the ups and downs of the market. There's variable annuities, there are fixed annuities, and then there are fixed indexed annuities. I talk to people about the fixed annuities and the fixed indexed annuities because they allow you to have guaranteed protection, guaranteed growth. But in 2023, 385 billion went into annuities. In 2024, just last year, $432 billion was put into annuities. A lot of financial advisors don't handle annuities, and thus they don't talk about it. Some of them don't understand them, but a lot of them are going to kind of poo-poo the idea of putting money into annuities. Well, I'm going to make a couple arguments here in a second about why you might want to think again about that. So my next question, and I'm getting close to the end here, but it says, what are pre-retirees doing? Well, guess what? You're looking at a pre-retiree. I haven't really thought about when I'm going to retire. Again, I'm 57 years of age. I think I've got at least another 10 to 12, 15 years in me. But let me tell you what I'm doing. Now, I've been blessed. I have had the fortune to be able to put some money into the stock market. I've got money in some different online accounts. What kind of gets me here of late, when I look at them, I get a little nervous because with this volatility, those accounts have been losing ground. And if you've got accounts like that, I think we can relate. But I don't want to necessarily show you the names of the company. I'm not here to advertise these companies. These are just a few. These are 3 of our annuities. My wife and I, we've got money in annuities. We don't need the money from them yet. And I want to kind of go over what we get from putting our money into annuities. Number one, just real generally, safety and security. Our money, I'm slowing down a little bit. I'm getting a little excited to share this with you. Safety and security. These accounts, have they lost value with the market volatility? The money is safe. It's guaranteed in there. All right. I want to go over a little bit of the attributes of why my wife and I have money in these fixed accounts, but why my clients, why I recommend. Now, am I telling you to just change everything you're doing, to put everything you own into an annuity? No, that'd be ridiculous. But a portion might be 10% of what you have. It might be 25, it might be 50%. It might be more than that. But I believe there is a place for guaranteed growth. Number one, we've had these annuities a while. We're going to continue to put money into them. They've been growing for us every year. Guaranteed growth. Okay. We're able to participate in the market with no risk. After the video here, I'm going to give you an opportunity. If you want to talk to me on the phone or come see me face to face, I'll show you my recent statements. Some of my clients allow me to show their statements. Now I mark out their names and addresses, but I show you exactly where I'm putting my money, the annuities that I do. We've been earning a pretty good rate of return. Now, my wife and I are both 57 years of age. I'm still working. I don't need the income from these annuities yet. But down the road, I don't know. We don't have a crystal ball. We don't know what's going to happen. Could be 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. I don't know. At some point, we're probably going to start drawing money out of those annuities. If something were to happen to me, guess what? My wife can start drawing money out of those annuities. It's guaranteed for life. Golly. How good is that? In today's uncertain times, the volatility, just so much going on in this world, wouldn't it be nice to have some guarantees? That's what you get in these annuities. And again, I know I've heard over the years, well, somebody told me, a financial advisor, don't put money in annuity. I've heard all that stuff. Hey, whatever. These are not the annuities of the 1930s and 40s and 50s. It's a new, it's just a newer type of annuity that we do that basically allow you to grow your money. If you need to start taking out a distribution, 5%, 10%, take the interest out of your annuity, go for it. If you want to turn on an income stream. So like my mother-in-law, I guess it's probably been 3 or 4 years ago. She's in her mid 80s now. She just got to a point. Now she's still able to do a lot of things, but she got to a point where she said, you know what? I wouldn't mind just telling the annuity company to just start sending me a check. Now she gets a check every quarter. Guess what? It's guaranteed for life. Also, she's not given all that money to the insurance company. If she needs to get some money out of her principal, she still has access to that. So annuities have changed. And so I think I've gotten to a point in my life where I'm not going to beat around the bush anymore. For the longest time, I tried to avoid, oh boy, people aren't going to want to talk about annuities. That's changed. I want to tell you what I'm doing. Here you go. And another annuity back behind me there. So I just kind of came up with this. This is nothing earth shattering, but it says an annuity, what we get while we invest in these annuities, it's a safe place for our savings. We get a competitive rate of return that we can turn into a guaranteed income whenever we need it. To me, that is pretty powerful. So again, I've done what I always do. I start talking a little bit longer than I wanted to, or longer, and start rambling. But here are my publications. I think it's been about 3 or 4 years ago, I wrote this book, Protecting Your Retirement. I have that in a book form. I can mail it to you. You come by the office, I've signed it for you. If you want me to send a PDF version, I've got that. I've also created a little book, a little smaller. It's called IRA Max, a guide for the conservative investor looking to maximize and safeguard their IRA and 401k accounts. So I've worked with a lot of people with their retirement. I would say a good portion is people who are retiring from a company, who have a 401k, a 403b, that need to roll it somewhere. There's a lot of mistakes people make with those IRAs. So I wrote a little booklet. If you want that information, I can easily send it out to you to an email. Down below, you'll see I've got a way to email me, or you can fill out the appointment link, set an appointment with me on the phone, or we can talk, whatever. You'll figure it out down below. So I've gone a little bit further than I've wanted to. I'm not as polished in these shows as I want to be, but hopefully I've got the message across to you. If you are concerned about your retirement, the volatility, not just today, but in the future, making sure that money lasts, I'd love to talk to you.